Good morning, everybody. It is January 24th, 2024. Right now, the time is 8:16 a.m. Central Time. The market is going to open in 14 minutes, if I can do my math right. Excuse me. NASDAQ futures contract. Let's take a look at what we got going on today. We'll start with our higher time frame. Let's look at the daily. If you saw the video from yesterday, we talked about Netflix earnings coming out after market close. Netflix crushed it, and the stock spiked. It's brought the Nasdaq up with it. We can see here we had this gnarly bearish doji candle that came out on Monday. Yesterday we've got this guy printing a very bullish candle. Again, that's just on Netflix earnings. I wish I had the candle from the close, which was not. Actually, yesterday it did rally in the afternoon, didn't it? Again, I think that is, I talked about it yesterday, buying the rumors, selling the news on the Netflix stock, driving it up. We do have Tesla reporting today after market close. I am not as bullish on Tesla as I was on Netflix yesterday. I am not trading Tesla. If I had to guess what was going to happen with Tesla, I think it's going to report good numbers, and then it's going to tank on guidance. So let's see what happens with it. Anyways, yesterday in the pre-market, we were looking at the 4-hour chart, and if you remember, we talked about this trend line yesterday, which we've had a lot of touches on for the last week or so. We talked about it had about 10 touches, I think we counted on this thing, just this vertical up move. We broke through it on Monday, got this pullback, and then yesterday was doing, I think we're right in here yesterday, this kind of ranging consolidation thing that it was doing. We talked about this trend line that was support. If you guys remember from yesterday, we talked about this trend line that was support, may now become resistance, and we talked about the upper band, price possibly coming to the upper band, plus the top of the Bollinger Band on the 4-hour chart here. I still think this is probably a good target zone for it, top of the 4-hour on the Bollinger. It's holding above the 20 SMA on the 4-hour, and it seems like the upward, trend here might be starting to resume, although, who knows what this thing's going to do. 17,700, talked about it yesterday, is a nice psych level, might get sucked up into. We're kind of coming up to that area right now, probably having some profit taking going on. I do think we may, I think it's this up here might be a possible target. Let me see what price that is. 17,750-ish. Let's see what it wants to do. We'll have to let the session open and then kind of watch order flow and price action to see if it wants to get up there. If I move down to my hourly, which might give me a better sense of what's going on intraday, we can just look at what's happening this week. We talked about this range yesterday. We had this kind of upper range. This is something I didn't point out. We had this upper range, and then we have this lower range. And this was yesterday when we got this break. Yeah, it was kind of breakout in the afternoon. Again, this happened at 2 o'clock. I'm Central Time, so this is the last hour market session for me, and you can just see this is everybody just buying Netflix probably, and just bringing up Nasdaq with it. And we've just got that continuation. I can see 17,011 up here, open on the 1-hour. I think that's probably going to be its first target if we get some bullish move to the upside. I'm going to mark that out here. That's going to show up on all my charts. I think we probably are going to get that move up here, and then you're going to have some profit taking. Are you going to have any shorts coming in? I don't think so. Again, I said yesterday, I don't think there's any reason to short this thing. There's no fundamental cause of concern for this thing to go down at all at this point. Interest rate increases really drove the Nasdaq down over the course of the last year or so, and then not the year or so. God, I need to get my dates correct. But interest rates have been affecting the Nasdaq, directly. And so as interest rates were going up, Nasdaq was going down. And now that interest rates are talking about cutting them, the Nasdaq is seeing really incredible strength. All the markets are talking about rate cuts. So, unless they say they're going to raise interest rates, or, they're not going to cut as aggressively, I don't see any reason for this thing to really come down. Even with Tesla, I don't think Tesla's going to do today, but I'm not in that play. I'm not even gonna mess with Tesla today. What do we got coming out in terms of economic news today? We have S&P Global Composite. I don't think it. PMI maybe. That's going to come out at 9 a.m. for me Central Time, 10 a.m. Eastern. That'll probably spike the market around, but it's not going to be anything that's tomorrow. Let's see what we got. GDP. Yeah. We're really just looking at this one might personal consumption expenditures or core personal consumption expenditures. This might be a market mover. That's coming out Friday, pre-market 7:30 a.m. Central, 8:30 a.m. Eastern. That might be. These are Eastern time. I don't know why it's like that. Friday. This might move the market. Anything to do with prices, and expenditures, stuff like that, may have an impact on the market. So I'd be looking at that, but I don't see anything else coming up today or tomorrow. But you probably just want to be flat around these times, because you might get wicked out. The price might spike around and take out your stop before going right in the direction you thought it was going to go, which is usually the case for me anyways. Still doing this take profit trader evaluation challenge, finding it helpful, just trading with pretty small size and trying to trade more relaxed. I've been trading my own account since October of last year and took kind of a heavy loss. I don't know when that was. I don't know. Just went way too much size. A couple weeks ago, probably just way too much size. I almost should have been just a standard trade, a standard loss, and I just couldn't accept the loss because I was holding on to my P&L so tight, and I wiped out about 2 weeks work. So, I have decided to step back a second. I also, if you guys were on the live stream a couple of days ago, you saw me chase price of the upside on the open. Got absolutely burned. So that sucked. But I was just trading on micros, so it wasn't that big of a deal. I only took 2 micro contracts. So it wasn't really that big of a loss, and it was on the evaluation account. So it's just a good reminder, a good lesson learned. You move on. You move on from it. We are coming up to that 700 level. I don't trade pre-market, so I'm not going to trade this thing. But you can just look at the nice structure on the 5-minute. It's consolidation, breakout. It's kind of just a range breakout down here. Moving up. This low here is a little bit concerning, but we kind of took out this previous low. It's pre-market though. I don't give a lot of salt to shit in pre-market. It's just gonna do what it wants to do. But anyways, you can just see, higher lows coming up, higher lows. I conveniently skipped over this. We did wick through it. We've closed above the 20 SMA. This looks like it wants to keep pushing up. Maybe you need some sellers to keep moving up. You know what I mean? That makes sense to you. We need to get some sellers in here so we can get the price to move up. But yeah, we are going to let the market open. We're, per usual, are going to try to be patient as we can. Sometimes when you sit here in front of the screen, you're watching the price move around, man, it's hard to be patient. You just want to jump in on something and typically get burned on that. So really want to be patient and see if we can't find something to open it up for us on the open. I think it's probably coming up to 712. You're like, well, Bear, just jump in on it, man. Get in on it here. It may, I think it's going to move up there, but we may pull back somewhere in here before we decide to move up there. And am I going to risk a 30-point drawdown? This is about 30 points. Or to make 15, or am I going to wait to try to get it at a good price? So I don't know. We're going to let the market open, hopefully find a good setup, and what happens. All right, guys, I'm trying to take a stab at along here right on the open. I think this might be a bad idea. Chasing price again. I'm going to stop that at 76 probably. So all this delta volume coming through, but we saw all the delta volume coming through there, and then we also had the break of this trend line. Here I thought we were going to pop up, maybe up to 94, and it just didn't happen. So I just got to take my stop on it. Trading 1 micro, 1 mini, I mean. So in that move down, Not a good way to start the day. I really need to be more patient. It's just like you want to just make the money real quick. You're like, man, it's going up. It's going up. I can do it. And then it's like, boom, you get stopped out. But glad I took my stop. Just lick your wounds. Um, Hopefully we can find something that sets up better. If anything, this is actually short here. We get that impulse down. We have an LVN that's formed right here a little bit. These wicks. But it's the open. It's going to be choppy. I should not have taken this in the first minute. Let's see if we can be a little more patient bear and find something better. Think about trying to take a short here. See if I can't get a little bit of a pullback up to maybe VWAP-ish level. May just have to jump in. Trying to take it down to 31. We can see, bearish candle on the 1 minute. Bearish candle on the 1 minute. Bearish on the 5. We can see this trend line here, the down channel here opening up. Not getting in at a good price. This one might be a dud. I might have to close out. Let's see what happens here. Definitely chase this thing. I'm going to close out. I don't like that price. I think it's going to move lower here. I'm just trying to wait to see if I can find like a signal. Getting through that trend line. You see that down channel on the 1 minute. Dang it. This looked good down here for me. I thought we were going to break below VWAP and get another push to the downside. We could see this down channel that had formed, trying to take that down just one more leg, like to the 30-ish level. Just didn't get. Not starting off good here. I got about one more trade in me, or I'm going to have to probably call it quits. Now we're coming down. All right, see if we can find another setup. I can feel myself getting anxious. Like, gosh dang, I need to fix it. But I just based on statistical probabilities, you're not going to win every trade. Statistically speaking, you're probably going to have stretches where you have 4 or 5 losers in a row. So I kind of come to that realization and hopefully do proper risk management to be able to endure that. But this stinks. Let's see what happens. All right, thinking about taking a short again. If we pop up to 73, 74, I want to see what it wants to do. I think it's just going to run into some exhaustion up here. This is going to be a quick scalp if I can get filled. I went 2. I did not mean to go too long or short 2 contracts. Shoot. Try to get out of this. Save my butt here. Dang it, I didn't mean to go that big. Check your ATM strategy, folks. Hopefully we get lucky. I don't think we're going to get lucky. I got to close out. I went the wrong way on that. This thing's going to keep moving up here. Not the wrong way. Fuck. Chopped up trying to make a profit. You know what I mean? You guys know what I mean. All you guys have been there before. You're watching your P&L. You're watching your P&L. You're like, ugh. And you start sizing up. All bad news. Gotta make that one contract. Barely undid my damage. Barely. Going a little bit off tilt here. Gotta breath. Take a breath. When you wanna take a breath and just try to get a good trade. The best thing to do is just shift down to micros. Take a little bit of the pressure off and just try to get a good trade. I mean, I think this is a short area. This would have blown me out right here. That little look above and fail. I switched over to micros over here. I may take a micro trade just to get my confidence back up a little bit. I do have $1,100 daily loss limit, so I still got a couple cards up my sleeve, but clearly I'm feeling myself going a little off tilt, a little full tilt, off tilt, full tilt. I don't know what the saying is. So I heard somebody say that one time, and now I'm just using it. I'm going to take a break and see if we can actually make something better happen. I think this is a short, though. I think this is going to wick through all of this and back down to VWAP. Maybe the break of 20 SMA. One thing you want to be careful of, like, sometimes you want to, like, read price, right? Like, you want to read this. 2 bearish candles on the 1 minute. We're probably coming back down. But, you know, I was about to say you want to wait for the close below the 20 SMA. It may come down, you know, and then come back up, and you really want to try to get in a good price before it's made the move, if you can, if you're good enough. Delta dropping down there. I might take one of these little micros just to kind of get myself. Keeps coming up. Let's try to take just one little micro here, see if we can't get a little mean reversion trade. Maybe not. I'm not even looking at my P&L. I'm just trying to trade it right now. Stop's really got to be at 76, 550. I love how I said, like, I'm going to go take a break. I need to take a break. And I immediately jump into another trade. I think this short is on. I think that this is a low volume area. Value area high. I see weakness on Delta. You can look at advanced decline. Advanced decline, it's pretty bearish. You can see it over here. Tick is moving down. You know, we gapped up on the advanced decline, moving down. Market breadth isn't quite there. Tick is moving lower. We may get wicked out, but just the way it goes. Got a pretty good wick coming through here in the 5 minute. Let's see what happens with this thing. I might close out. I'm going to close out. I think this thing's pushing up now. Getting chopped around on the NASDAQ, trying to make $1. That's my song. I lost $8 on that trade. Better than 80 or 800. All right, now I'm for real taking a break. I'm coming back in 5 minutes. Okay, guys, I took my break. I'm thinking about taking a short here as we break this support level. 6. This is going to be a scalp. 56. I'm going to try to take a quick one down here. Go. That one. So on this one, you can see we wicked through the 20 SMA here on the 5 minute. We broke this supporting. So this looked over here on the 5 minute. Broke the supporting structure on the 1 minute. Broke this support area. You can see it over here on 500 volume. That support area. This held. This broke. And also, if you look again at just the market internals are just turning super bearish. And I looked over here on the tape, and it was just a sea of red that came in. So just trying to take that scalp down to VWAP. I got to scalp it. I'm trying to get myself out of the hole here. A little risky, but sometimes you got to risk it for the biscuit. You know what I mean? All right, I'm gonna let this move around for a minute. Hopefully, we can find something else. Jumped into another trade over here. I'm just trading a micro just to practice. Put my stop right below this candle. Let's see if we get this push up to 89 up the top of the band there on the 1 minute. See if it wants to flutter out or just go. I mean, I'm not making anything on this. This, again, is just really for practice. We can see cumulative delta here really pushing up. Really pushing up. This is just kind of like a little bull flag, 1 minute bull flag kind of thing. come up to 90. See, we're just kind of starting. There's a lot of trend line. I'm not even looking at half of these. Not even looking at most of them. You can just see, just first leg, pull back, second leg, up to the top of the band. You can just kind of get confirmation on that with, let me get out of here. Get confirmation on that with cumulative delta down here, as it was about ready to make that move. You can see cumulative delta right here starting to go up. So it just gives you, this actually popped before the move actually went. So it just gives you a little more, confidence in what it may do. Also had the band open here on the 5 minutes. It's kind of like a double band opening. It's just a two-legged, it's just an ABCD pattern to the upside. It's pretty simple. But, if this fails and your stop is right below here, this could really move to the downside because this would trap a lot of folks who it's just almost like too obvious. So I didn't really feel like taking a hit. I have been burned on those before, but if you see cumulative delta moving like that, that's a really good sign to take it. This alone, this little ABCD pattern alone, I think is probably a 50-50 move. You might have, it might be a 60-40 move in your favor, but when you add in delta, I would say that goes up to about 80%. So pretty good setup. And I'm fine with just taking a micro on it. So whatever, it's just practice. All right, let's see if we can find something else. All right, guys, so I chased price a little bit here. Just wanted to get a quick scalp, super quick. It was like, nothing, 3 points. I see it's going to get sucked up into the upper band here on the 1 hour, and then I think that might be all the trades it's going to do today. So I wanted to get that quick move up here, and I just jumped in. I didn't have time to hit the record button. Gosh, this is just a nice little stair step up, and just we originally got into this trade. Obviously on the micros, I'm gonna try to show I really don't like these markers on my screen. But anyways, we got it down here. Obviously should have held it. Story of my trading career, if I even want to call it a career, my trading journey. Got it down here, got out for the scalp here, moved all the way up, additional 20 points. It happens. On a micro, that's an excellent way to hold the trade. Just on a micro, you get in here and you can hold it up. So, not so much stress. Knew it was coming up. I didn't know. I thought it was coming up to the top band here on the 1 hour. We talked about that in pre-market. It's coming down to this low volume node. It'll be interesting to see if this will hold. I think if this breaks, if it gets through this LVN that formed right here, you may see a significant retracement, and then this resistance area will be confirmed, but looks like it's starting to move up. Its next target, I think, is in the top of the band on the 4 hour, which is over here on this chart. And let's see, it's right around 430. Sorry, 740, something like that. See if this LVN holds. I don't think I'm gonna trade anymore. Lost 217 on the day. I think I was down 450 at one point. So, that's the way it is. I'm not going to worry about it too much. This is all just for practice. And one thing that I really wanted to do with this evaluation is just learn to take losses better. And if you've been following the channel, for me, losing is really hard. Taking red days is really hard. Losing a trade is really hard. And if you want to stay in this game, if you want to be successful at this long term, you got to learn to lose, and you've got to learn from your losses, and also just accept them. Just accept the loss. Like, you're going to take a loss. Statistically speaking, you are going to take losses, and you've got to accept those. Eat the red days, come back, and try to keep, your red days smaller than, less frequent and smaller than your green days, and you should be okay. In the long run. And so that's kind of what I'm trying to do. So I appreciate you guys watching. If you got any value out of this, I'd appreciate a like. A subscribe would be fantastic. I am doing this Take Profit Trader Challenge if you guys are interested in doing it. It's 40% off, But the big thing about it is once you pass, you don't pay the PA account fee. So lots of times what these prop firm trading firms do is they get you with a really cheap upfront cost, but then once you pass, they stick you with a fat bill in order to set up your actual funded account. So this one, everything is included in the upfront cost, and it's only like $100 to do it. So, yep, I'm doing it on this one. And if you guys want to join, there's a code below. It's just Mr. Bear, all caps. It helps me out a lot, helps support the channel, keeps this thing going. I'd like to, stay more consistent. This may come up to 20 now. I don't know. Do more consistent posting, and I think these challenges are just a great way to do it. Just kind of creates a storyline. So if you guys like the content, like, subscribe. You're interested in doing one of these things, check out the link below. I'll hopefully see you guys back here tomorrow. All right, guys, take care. Bye.